everyone, I'm Tanya from Flying Dog Studio. Thanks for stopping by the channel. I hope what you're watching today is exactly what you need. If it is, please give me a like on the video so I'll know that it helped, and leave me a comment below. And leave me a comment if you have questions. Please subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell. God bless and keep creating. Hello everyone. Today we're going to take a look at how to use your blending brush. Now on the screen you can see that I have a reference photo and I have the actual piece we're working on, and what we're working on is going to be this headband right here. You can see how the colors smoothly come together, transition from one shade to another. We're not going to worry about the ribbing in the hat. I'm not actually putting that in, but I did want you to see that reference before we got started. Now this is your blending tool at the top. It's right next to the drawing tool, the brush tool. I'm going to activate it right there. That's our blending tool. Many times I see students take this tool and use it to blend colors in an entire area. We don't want to use it that way. We want to use it to blend one edge with another and make it seamless. That's what I've done at the top part of this hat where I've been working, and you can see an area right in here where I've gone from dark to light, and I have used that to blend those edges together. And I have other edges in here that I have not blended yet. This is something I previously drawn out for you. So we're just looking at the coloring today. Now the tool that I use to paint this with is under my watercolor. It's actually a brush that I made. I will show you in another video how you can make your own brushes if you're interested in that. And let's take a look at my layers. Now I have a base color layer. I have my background. That's not part of this color layer. Right now I'm just working on the hat. And you can see I have several layers where I will have the top of the hat that I did. Then I have the layer above, which is where I started to color the brim of the hat. Then I have the lighter colors that I put on top, and that's on this layer 8. The reason I have different layers is so that I can color. I can come back in if I make a little bobble. Here's a bobble that I've made right here. I've colored a little bit outside the line. I can come back in with my eraser and turn that down, make sure I don't erase too much. And I can erase that out. Because some of my art, if you've looked on my channel, some of my art is illustration for children's books, so that's not photorealistic. And if you take a look at my website, tanyaeddy.com, or you take a look at any of my social media pages, you'll see I also do photorealistic. And this is one of those pieces that's going to be photorealistic. So that's why I am being very careful and very tedious about coming around the edges and getting rid of anything that should not be there, just like that. All right, and you do have to get in here pretty close, sometimes, you know, right down to the pixels to see what you're doing on here. So I'm going to be blending this edge. Now I want to use a blending tool. I'm going to come up here to blending tools. If you hit it twice, you can activate it. I want to use something that is not too smooth. Now notice I'm on sketching, and I'm on the Derwent pencil. Now a pencil lead is going to give you, if you color with the pencil, it's going to give you not, excuse me, quite the smoothness that you have on the airbrushing. Airbrushing tools, very smooth. There's absolutely no texture in that. I want something that has a little more texture, and the Derwent pencil is going to give me that. So I have chosen the Derwent, even though I've colored this with watercolor, I have chosen the Derwent on my airbrush tool, and I'm going to come in and blend these edges. Let me come in a little closer. What I like to do is move in a circular motion, and I need to take these two layers, forgive me, I need to take these two layers and merge them together just like that. And I'm good, that way I can blend the dark into the light. You'll see I'm going right along that edge. And notice over here, I don't have the opacity turned all the way up. I don't want a strong blend. I want to kind of work my way into that. It's sort of like coloring. I tell the students when we're working on colored pencil, you can always add more color in, but it's hard to take it out. You can always do a little more blending, but you don't want to have to do blending, get part of it perfect, and then have to back some things out of here. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going along the edge of that hat and just blending the edges of that together. I have my size all the way turned up on here. Depending on the area that you're blending, you may want to decrease the size of your brush. But Derwent is kind of a small tool, If you're using the pencils, they're kind of a small tool, so you'll probably want to have those completely turned up. I'm going to move down a little bit in this area and blend these as well. Zoom in for you here so you can see where I'm going. Go back and forth for you. Come all the way down here. Now this tool is not meant to fill in white spaces. If you haven't colored everything in completely, it will work for that, and occasionally I will use it for that. But when you use a tool like this to fill in an area that you have not colored completely, what you're going to get is a lighter shade of the color you're actually wanting for the piece. You're just going to be smearing it around. So if you need to color correct, if you need to fill in a spot, don't use the blending tool. Use this tool simply to decrease your edges. So I'm decreasing my edges, and you can see it better along here, along this edge where we have a really dark and a really light. Sometimes I move back and forth. This is a straight edge, so I'm going to move back and forth on this instead of in a circle. Over here I moved in a circle because we're wanting to blend a larger area, and this is a rounded area. You can see it's a rounded area, but this is a straight edge along here, so I'm coming back. You don't want to overblend, just enough to get the edges to mesh together, and do make certain to pull your stylus up off the surface of your canvas occasionally. The reason for that is if you make a little bobble and you've done a huge area and you haven't picked this up, when you back it up, you're going to back up the whole thing. So I tell students, remember to pick that stylus up occasionally so that you are not going to back up an entire area you've been working on. So here we go. We're almost around the hat. And I'm going to leave a little bit so you can see the difference. So you see how we're blending in here. It looks more like a rolled edge. And then over here on this side, you can see it is definitely a straight edge along there. So that is how you use the blending tool.